Hiya pals, and welcome to another Brand Day Makeover. This one is so special because it's the first time I've ever seen my designs on a wall.
You know, I come in on my own sometimes and I'm like, I have cried. Yeah.
So stick around because it's going to be a good one. For those who don't know, my name is Chloe. I'm a brand designer who is helping new businesses nail their brand identity in just one day. Today I am joined by not just one, but two new business owners, Nat and Cat, who are very eager to get started quickly for the launch of their new business, Soul Space. I am so buzzing for this makeover, but before we get stuck in, let's give them a quick call to see how we can help them. So, Soul Space, it is an extension of Soulful Sunday, which was founded by you, Nat, and then used to come together to do Soul Space. And you said in the questionnaire that it's going to offer a variety of yoga styles and also some cold water dipping. So if you could just expand on that a little bit more for me.
A variety of yoga for sure. Powerful strength, all the way to restorative yoga, yin yoga, aerial yoga in the hammocks.
I think it will branch off into different things as well in terms of little, Kat, you're talking about your little brunch events and stuff like that. We just basically want to be able to hold events as well.
We'll also run our yoga teacher training course.
Sounds like you guys have found a nice partnership as well, like something that, one of the words that I think you used in the questionnaire was like soul tribe. Like I absolutely love that. Community then, is that massive for you guys? Why is that so important for you both, especially within like how you visually show your business? Is that something that's really important to you?
I'll answer this one first, right? Because I think that for me, it's never been something that I've really thought that I've wanted, Chloe. I've always been quite a loner. However, since starting the whole Soulful Sunday thing up, I now realise that it is something that I really need because I feel that way myself. I'm very much like, if I need it, people need it.
I think that is the sort of for me, something I've learned anyways, the foundations of a successful business. So things can look gorgeous and it can look really cool. Like somebody can look at a brand and be like, oh, that looks really cool, that looks really nice. But ultimately, if they want to be able to look at something and go, oh my goodness, I can come over to that place, I can walk in through those doors and ask about it, inquire about it. I want to feel like I can come into this.
Like people that come along to Lass and Pressic who are regulars, they almost act like one of the team.
They literally almost do my job for me at times at Prestwick.
Your aim is to have clients feel connected, empowered, and taking time for themselves, and you want it to be an authentic, inclusive space for all ages. Would you say that that's right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Women probably 30s to 50. That's the client I talk to when I do my social media. That's the person I have in my head.
Would you agree, Nat? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Fabulous. So we've got your target audience is definitely nailed then, and yeah, we can definitely have your brand targeting that. So this is a mixture of images from yous and from me. Some of the words that were coming up were things like opulence, empowerment, luxurious, and I love these colors as well. So these dark green blues are absolutely gorgeous. And then sometimes we've had these sort of oranges come up, but it's more gold. And I know that's something that was really important, was that gold.
It's almost like a real like terracotta, which I absolutely love.
I asked for images of like how you want people to feel when they see your brand identity. I think these images are fantastic. And I love this goddess that you brought up, Nat. Can you talk to us a bit about that, please?
Green Tara. So she is one of the, she's my favourite goddess. She's the remover of obstacles. She's obviously a female and has come up against all these different challenges in her life and has basically been able to get over all of them.
It sounds like you guys are very deep thinkers, and I want your brand identity to be well thought out. I want it to have a bit of both of you in it. I want it to mean something.
Like I think, like we sort of had said, that clean girl vibe was not our thing, because I almost think that is a little bit cold and clinical, almost
stark, isn't it? It's a bit stark,
Yeah.
I think.
There's something about all of these colours and things that almost say to me, actually, Do you know what? It's okay that my life is a mess because I'm going to go to Soul Space and it'll be fine for that hour.
See the top 3 images? I'm kind of
Yeah.
obsessed with that, with the little dots.
I think it gives a bit of depth to the logo.
Yeah.
Also not too decorative. And I actually had the idea of like bringing these kind of maybe some the main aspects of your business together and actually making you your own patterns. So am I on the right track?
Yeah, definitely. For me, and I know for you, Kat, as well, when I can see that, I can
Yeah.
see everything else. Because it's been something that I've been really worried about, because I know that it's such a difficult thing to do, and I would hate to have something that we weren't completely happy with, but I feel as if we're definitely going to be.
You're in good hands. You're in good hands. Trust me, you are. Okay, so I love how specific Nat and Cat's vision is for their business. So here are a few things that we need to focus on. It's really important that we create a brand identity that evokes opulence, luxury, and deep meaning. Doing this by incorporating Moroccan-inspired aesthetics and some decorative elements in their logo. Luckily for me, Nat and Cat have already chosen their primary colour, which is this rich dark green, but it's really important to them that we pair this with a really warm gold to create that inviting atmosphere that they want for their wellness space. And lastly, we want to create a cohesive brand identity that really empowers their target audience of women in their 30s to late 50s and really reflects that community focused and wellness orientated vision that they both have for Soul Space. So with these key takeaways, I have a very strong vision of where we could take this brand identity, but time is a ticking and Nat and Cat really want to launch very soon, so let's get started. Since having a really decorative type-based logo was really important to Nat and Cat, I thought the best place for me to start would be to look through some fonts that could really replicate what they're looking to bring to life with Soul Space. I chose to focus on some serif fonts because I think these types of fonts really bring a luxurious feel to a brand identity. I also looked for some that had really unique glyphs so I could get some inspiration for what decorative elements to include in their type-based logo. By the way, doing this on Illustrator is super easy. All you need to do is go to type on the top bar and then go to glyphs, and then you'll have all the beautiful glyphs that come with your font. So after going through quite a few options, I landed on this beautiful serif font. It was very friendly and very feminine, so I wanted to take this further. For the decorative elements to this type-based logo, I thought about the backstory to Soul Space, how it all started with cold water swimming with Soulful Sunday, and how they were incorporating the same service but in Soul Space. So that's where I had the thought of maybe trying to incorporate a small wave shape underneath the O in Soul, because I feel like this was just a bit nicer to the eye rather than trying to just add a random sort of decorative shape on top of a letter or underneath a letter. And I just think I really wanted to give this a bit more meaning rather than just throwing a random shape in there. Then I noticed how to give this even more meaning because I found that the O actually looked like the sun, and the sun is very representative of warmth and power, and I feel like that really represents Soul Space as a business. So this added some subtle meaning to the logo but also keeping it a little bit decorative, so it's a win-win. I really wanted to give the girls a variation of their logo to use in instances like their profile image or a sign outside of their space, just something to give them a bit of variety. So I started playing around with the variation of a logo where I could just have the two S's in a composition that worked well with the little wave shape. Again, bringing in that meaning of balance with the two S's together and connection as well. Nat and Cat also mentioned that they wanted established in 2024 in their logo somewhere. However, when I was doing this, I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't think it was looking that great, but I thought it best to wait for feedback from the girls to see what they thought. Nat and Cat also really wanted some Moroccan inspired design in there. Now I thought that I could bring this in with a pattern because I was looking up some Moroccan design and I just love Moroccan tiles. I think they're just so lovely to look at, and the fact that it was a physical space that I was designing this branding for, I thought a pattern would be really lovely to give them an extra graphic element that they could apply in their space just to kind of bring it to life a little bit more. Of course, I wanted to incorporate some meaning into this pattern, and it wasn't just something that I pulled out of my, so I thought about doing the key themes of Soul Space and creating some symbols that could represent those. So for me, that was community, wellness
and empowerment. So I thought about how I could create some shapes that would then come together to create a nice sort of Moroccan inspired tile pattern. Moving on to the colour palette. Now, this part was super easy because, as already said, Nat and Cat have already chosen their colour and have actually already started painting the walls of their space with this colour. So we're going to have to go for this as a primary colour for the business, which I'm absolutely happy with because I love deep green. It's one of my favourite colours to work with. It's so luxurious and it's also quite inviting as well and very natural. I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. And the fact that they want gold with it is also perfect because dark green and gold are just an absolute match made in heaven. But I had to make sure that there was a high enough contrast between the gold and the green because Nat and Cat are going to be transferring this branding onto their green walls. So the gold really had to stand out on top of that green. And with that, the concept is now ready to show Nat and Cat. So let's give them a little call and see what they think. Alright, so Nat and Cat absolutely love the concept and they even pointed out that the typeface that I've chosen, the C actually looks like a crescent moon, which kind of works perfectly with the sun. So yeah, I didn't notice that, but they did and they absolutely loved it. However, there are a few things that we worked together on that call to get the branding to a point where they think it's perfect for their business. And here's what we changed. So to make the sun and the wave look more like a sun and a wave, we actually added a second smaller wave shape underneath the O and reduced the size of the O. So it actually kind of looked like the sun setting over the ocean, which I thought was really, really pretty. So I thought it was a great suggestion. And thank goodness they also agreed that the established 2024 did not look good on the logo. I think it was kind of making it start to feel a bit like a restaurant rather than a wellness space. So we took that away. So instead, Nat suggested that we add 3 little circle shapes at each side of the logo just to bring in some more decorative elements. Now, these symbols were really important to Nat, so I was more than happy to include them. So we worked together on the call to get the placement just right, and then we added some more circles around the variation logo with the 2 S's just to kind of tie it all together. And with that, it was now time for my favourite part, which is creating some mock-ups to show the brand in action for the final brand presentation. We interrupt this programme to bring you a top tip from the Chatty Freelancer. Okay, so you've got a shiny new brand and you're looking to create some snazzy social media templates, but you don't know where to start. Well, don't worry, because I've got you covered. All you want to do is head over to Adobe Express and pick a social media template that you like. However, this social template does not have your branding at all, but this is where the magic happens. All you want to do is to go to Brands. Here you can upload your shiny new brand identity along with colour palettes, typography, graphic assets and your logos. Then all you have to do is hit Apply Brand and there you have it, a professional but on-brand social media post ready to go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, thank you for joining me. I'm very, very excited to show you the final brand identity. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
So this is your final brand's identity. This is your final logo for Soul Space. How do you feel looking at it like this?
Oh, I love it. I love how this, like, you've captured like the sun hitting it through a window or something.
I actually really love that as an image as well.
This is really to give an opulent feel, but also be really inviting. So it's a little bit on the it's more on the feminine side. It's a bit more decorative, but not too decorative. And it's also reflecting that luxurious, welcoming feel that you guys wanted to have. And I think as well, those little dots really like kind of just make it. Nat, that was such a good suggestion because I've used that elsewhere. So to the left we've got your secondary logo, which is just Soul Space but stacked on top of each other. That was a suggestion from Kat, which I think was a great suggestion, by the way. And then you've got your logo mark, which is the 2 S's. Again, we've brought in that little wave just to kind of tie that in with the main logo, and then we've added those beautiful little dots around the circle just to give it a bit of depth.
Yeah. I don't know which one I prefer, whether it's the horizontally or whether it's stacked. I didn't have a vision in my mind. I said that to you at the beginning. I couldn't picture what it was going to look like. But when I look at this, I just love it.
Yeah, I honestly, I just love it. All those words you said at the start, you've like perfectly captured them for me, definitely. And I love the addition of the little dots. And in some Indian cultures, they believe it represents the past, the present, and the future.
That just gives
So,
more
yeah.
meaning to your identity.
Yes.
So I'm gonna show you as well. So we designed a nice pattern. This is just an additional graphic asset for you to use. So I took 3 shapes, the 3 elements, the community, the wellness, and the empowerment, and then come up with a unified pattern that again brings more meaning behind everything. There's always purpose, there's always meaning behind every creative decision that I'm making, that we're making. So I'm going to actually show you a little brand story just to give you an idea of like where your brand will be seen. So first off, your customers, your audience are going to come to your socials. They've been to social media and then they've went to your website and they're like, okay, I know who Nat and Cat are. So this is potentially what your little signage could look like. Then once they've seen your Instagram, they've seen your website, they've then just came to the studio to have a nosy, and they've maybe came in and then there's like a beautiful stack of business cards sitting on your desk or the front desk or whatever it is.
So I was going to say that looks like a really nice gift voucher to me.
Yes. Lastly, okay, they're committed. They love it. Soul Space is the place to be, and now they're wanting a lovely, beautiful T-shirt so they can wear to the yoga classes. What are your thoughts? What are your honest thoughts about the whole thing?
Yeah, I am delighted with it. I do feel as if it's us. And I would be proud to have it on my own body. You know, I would be proud to have a T-shirt or a mat or, you know, something like that. Yeah.
I had no idea what it could look like or what it should potentially look like. So the fact you've managed to do it, I think, is incredible.
Well, I'm like, we both genuinely love it. That's
Yeah.
hard.
And that's
Yeah.
sort of the challenge that I've given myself, is just to try and create these identities quicker for people, but also get it first time. Like you'll have everything to go off and fly and start doing this. So yeah, I'm so excited for you both.
I do as well. I would be happy for this to go on the wall as well, you know, as a central theme.
Yeah. So I feel looking at that, I want to go practice there. I want to go for a dip there. You've been amazing, Chloe, and just so adaptable and just really open to listen to us. And I can only say that I will 100% recommend you. So thank you so much. Working with Chloe from the Chatty Freelancer, what was perfect was that she took all our ideas and created them and brought to life something that actually I couldn't have dreamt of.
So actually being able to hand it over to you and literally be handed something back that was perfection was just amazing for me, so thank you. So, you know, I come in on my own sometimes and I'm like, oh my god, like it's still in the pinch me phase right now.
Yeah.
And I have cried.
Yeah. I think when I first seen all the branding on the walls, I literally had to lie down because I was so overwhelmed by how good it looked.
I think for the branding, to go back to the branding, the impact that it's had for me is it's given me a bit more belief.
Yes.
It gives me more belief that, you know, well, what can we do next, rather than when it is just an idea, you kind of ham in hand, sometimes don't believe yourself so much.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel as if it's given me.
Yeah. I think as well what I envisaged was that we would just have a logo, but it's so much more than just a logo.
But it's amazing actually how many businesses you come across that haven't thought about branding.
Yeah.
I say to them, you have to do this with Chatty Freelancer because it's so affordable, but it also, you just made everything make sense. And I think if you have that brand identity, you can then, you're not being yourself. It's almost like you can say, well, I don't feel great today, but my brand is on point, you know, and I can get to work with that.
Wow, I am so over the moon with how much Nat and Cat love their brand identity, and it was so surreal for me to go into a space and see my designs on a wall. I have never seen that before. Everything's always been really digital for me, so that was a very pinch me moment going in there, because we've done this so quickly. They've launched so fast, and kudos to them because they've done such an incredible job with the decor, with setting everything up, and it just looks awesome. And I actually can't wait to go myself, especially because it's up the bloody road. If you are in and around Cumbernauld and you're looking for a different experience when it comes to wellness, they have their aerial yoga, they also have their plunge pool. It's just absolutely beautiful what they've done. So I'm very thankful to the both of them for choosing me to create this beautiful beautiful brand identity for them, and I can't wait to see them fly with it. If you enjoyed this makeover, please be sure to subscribe and give me a wee thumbs up. I appreciate all the love on the first video, and thanks for watching this video. I'm so excited for the next Brand Day Makeover. So until then, cheerio, bye!